Hey yogis, my name is Helen. Welcome to my yoga channel. Today we're going to just be doing a nice little beginner's class. So it's appropriate for all levels. We're not going to do any vinyasas. If you don't know what that means, don't worry, you will soon learn. Not in this video, but later on. If you find that this practice is a little bit too advanced for you, I'm gonna break down specific postures on my channel so that we can really focus on what each posture means, so you'll know better what I'm talking about. But for the most part, this class is appropriate for all levels. And I just want you to remember that we're here to feel good, so be nice to yourself. And don't compare how it looks in my body. Notice how it feels in your body. Every body is different, so the postures kind of vary in shape from person to person. And if it does feel a little bit uncomfortable now, the more you practice, the more you show up, the better it will feel over time. So let's get started. If you're thinking of taking yoga seriously and really getting into the practice, I would definitely recommend buying a block or two, preferably two, any kind of blocks. They're like super cheap. Just get them on Amazon, any whatever. Maybe a strap. Today we won't need the strap, but for other practices, having a yoga strap, a belt, a rope tie, whatever is fine. Okay, we're gonna start in a comfortable cross-legged seat. If this posture is uncomfortable for you, you'll take a block or a pillow and you'll put it under your sits bones to elevate your hips a little bit, and this will help you to sit a little bit taller. Relax your shoulders away from your ears. Close your eyes. We close our eyes to go inwards. Let go of the outside distractions. And we'll just begin to breathe slowly in and out through the nose. In yoga, as opposed to other exercises, we breathe in and out through the nose for the entire time, unless the teacher directs otherwise. So really beginning to slow down, lengthen the breath, taking these conscious inhales and exhales, in and out through the nose. I'm going to introduce you to Ujjayi breath today. It's a nice, powerful, energizing breath, a pranayama practice that we use in our yoga practice many times, sometimes for the whole practice. And again, we're practicing. So if it doesn't resonate with you today, if you find it really not being able to do it, that's fine. But basically what it is it's a slow breath in and out through the nose with a slight constriction of the throat. So some people call it ocean breath or Darth Vader breath. For me, it reminds me if I was trying to fog up a mirror, like that, but with my lips closed. So we're gonna try to breathe like that just for a minute, doing your best, inhaling through the nose, constricting the throat, exhaling with the lips sealed. Continuing this for a minute. Just a few more rounds here. And let go of the Ujjayi breath. You can come back to it anytime during the practice or any practice if you'd like. Otherwise, you'll just breathe naturally in and out through the nose. Let's take a deep breath in through the nose. Fill up the lungs, deepest breath you've taken all day. Open up the mouth this time and sigh it out audibly. Really let it all go. Let's do that again. Inhale through the nose, fill up the lungs. Open the mouth, let it go. Good. Return to a comfortable natural breath in and out through the nose. Gently open up the eyes. Okay. Let's just begin with some neck rolls. Ooh, having some cracking going on. Just nice and slow. I close my eyes a lot when I'm doing stretches. You do not have to do that if it's not comfortable for you. This is your practice. You can pause anywhere that's feeling a little sticky and circle in the other direction. And bring your head back up to center, to stillness. So the spine bends 6 ways, right? So we have the 2 side bends, the 2 twists, the forward, and the back bend. We're going to try to incorporate all of that in our practice today, because think about if you're sitting at a desk all day typing or driving or texting, we're just hunched over all the time. We really want to undo that, realign. Okay, so fingertips come next to the hips, in line with the hips. Let's flip that right palm to the sky. Inhale, reach it really tall, sit up, lengthen. And exhale, reach it up and over. Crawl those left fingers out. So this is going to be really different for everybody. You might be low down, you might be high, but think length. All we want is a nice stretch down the right side of our body. If it's okay on the neck, you'll gaze towards the sky. Try not to let that right hip come up. Stay with those breaths in and out through the nose. And come all the way back up. Flip the left palm to the sky. Inhale, grow really tall. Exhale, reach it over, maybe crawl those right fingers out. Lengthen through that left side of the body, gazing towards the sky. So it's not a ballerina situation, so really try to reach through those fingertips, length, and try not to roll forward as you lengthen. Think opening the heart slightly towards the sky as well. Breathing here in and out through the nose. Both hips root down. And let's come all the way back up. Good. Bring your right hand behind you and your left hand to your right knee. Inhale, sit up really tall. Exhale, take a twist. You're gazing back towards that right shoulder without yanking the neck. Always thinking length when we twist. So as you inhale, continue to lengthen through the crown of the head, sit tall. And as you exhale, just imagine that you're twisting a little bit deeper. Find that breath, maybe ujjayi, maybe not. And let's come back to center, and we'll switch. Left hand behind you, right hand to left knee. Inhale, sit tall. Exhale, twist. Gazing back towards that left shoulder. Find your breath. Let's come back to center and just shake it out a little bit. Okay, come forward to hands and knees into table pose. So all fours. Wrists are directly under shoulders and knees are hip width apart. You want your fingers spreading literally as wide as you can get them. No one ever listens to me when I say this, but it really protects the wrists. You're pressing down especially through your thumb and index knuckles. We're on our hands a lot in yoga, so we always want to be really mindful of the wrists. We're going to do something called cat and cow. So it's a nice spinal movement where we're linking breath to movement. Let's inhale, tuck the toes, drop the belly, arch the back, spread the collarbones, gaze up. Exhale, point the toes round the spine, chin to chest, press the floor away. Inhale, drop the belly, arch the back, lift the heart, collarbones wide, gaze up. Exhale, round the spine, chin to chest, press the floor away. So continue this really nice and slow at your own breath. Exaggerate the movement. The bigger the movement, the more you're going to wake up the spine. You're trying to keep your arms straight. And essentially it is kind of like twerking. So really thinking about getting that pelvis into it so that you can wake up the spine even more. We'll just do a few more rounds here. See if you can make it a moving meditation. Really linking breath and movement. And this is always so nice to do when you wake up or after you've been sitting down for a long period of time, just to invite some movement into the body. Good. We'll come back to a neutral spine and we're going to take a child's pose. So we'll do wide-legged child's pose today. Your big toes are going to touch. Your knees are going to come out about as wide apart as the mat. Crawl your hands a little bit forward and let your hips drop back towards your heels. Head is going to come towards the floor. If it doesn't reach, that's okay. Slide a pillow or a block. It's more important to try to get the hips towards the heels than to get the head down. So if your head is down but your hips are super high, that's not what I'm looking for today. So just trying to relax into it. Reconnecting with your breath here. And let's come back up to all fours. Into our table pose. Okay, so we're gonna be coming into downward facing dog, which I know is like the quintessential yoga pose. When I began yoga, it felt horrible. And I was like, oh my God, there's no way I'm doing this right. So if you're new or you haven't practiced in a while and your down dog is feeling really funky, that is okay, that is normal. And it will get better if you keep showing up. So let's tuck the toes and lift the hips up and back, finding that upside down V pose. So before we start to get comfortable here, let's just measure out the length of our dog. So come forward to a plank, top of a push-up. I'm not gonna keep you here long. Now keep your hands and feet where they are and lift your hips up and back. This is your down dog. It might feel very long, that is okay. Fingers spread wide, we're gonna just pedal out the feet. So bend that right leg, press the left heel towards the floor, and then switch, bend the left leg, press the right heel towards the floor, and just move back and forth here a few times. Gaze stays towards the ankles, knees, or belly. And then let's find some stillness in our dog. So the legs stay straight. Your heels might be super far away from the mat. That is also normal. Lift your hips high. If your hamstrings are feeling really tight, put a bend in your knees so that you can send your hips higher and bring your chest towards your thighs. We want length in the spine here more than we want length in the legs. Let's just take 3 breaths here. Good, and then let's come forward to plank and slowly lower all the way down onto your belly. Good. Point to your toes. And we're just going to go through a couple of the back bends that you will regularly see in a vinyasa yoga practice. So tops of the feet are on the floor. Hands are in line with the chest. Squeeze your elbows into your ribs like grasshopper arms. Press down through the tops of the feet and inhale. Open up the heart into a low cobra. So staying nice and low here. You want to be low enough so that if you have to take your hands off the floor, you can do that. So you're breathing here, collarbones wide, lengthen the neck. Good, let's relax the head down. Take a moment. Slide your hands back just a little bit more. And I'm going to show you a high cobra. So that was a low cobra. And now for your high cobra, you're going to start to straighten the arms a little bit more. Don't have them all the way straight. When we have them all the way straight, our pelvis comes off the floor. So you're going to have them as straight as you can get them with your pelvis still on the floor. Don't lose the neck. So shoulders away from the ears. Draw the heart forward. Breathe. Keep pressing down through the tops of the feet so much that maybe your kneecaps lift off the floor. Taking 2 more breaths here. So our third option, if you're good with low cobra or high cobra, feel free to just do that again. Our third option is a little bit more intermediate. It's called upward facing dog. So you'll slide your hands down even more so they're almost in line with the low ribs. Press down deeply through the feet and inhale, lift up so that the only thing on the mat are your hands and your feet. You're pressing down through the feet so much, drawing that heart forward. Don't lose the neck. And let's take 3 breaths wherever you are, low cobra, high cobra, or upward facing dog. Good, let's lower it down. And press it to child's pose, just a few breaths here. Back bends can be pretty intense. So again, big toes touch, knees wide apart, hips towards the heels. They always get your heart rate going. They're so good for you. Let's come forward back to hands and knees. We're going to take downward facing dog one more time. I think one more time. Let's tuck the toes, lift the hips up and back, downward facing dog. Again, always feeling free to bend the legs. Keep sending those hips high. And then slowly and mindfully walk your feet to the front of your mat, to your hands. Let's have our feet about hip width apart, so it's about 2 fists width. Bend your knees, grab hold of opposite elbows, let go of the head, and just sway a little side to side. So your head is really loose. You're not holding it up, so the neck is relaxed. You're letting your weight just spill forward. And then release the elbows. We're going to inhale into a flat back. So you're gonna have your hands either to your shins or your quads, or if you're really flexible, you can have your fingertips to the floor. But notice how my spine is straight. If someone wanted to put a tray on my back, they could. So we'll inhale here, collarbones wide. Exhale, release, maybe soften the knees, fold, let go of the head. Inhale, flat back, lengthen the spine, gaze forward, press that heart out. Exhale, fold. One more time, inhale, flat back. Exhale. Let's step that left foot all the way to the back of the mat. Wiggle it back there if you need to. Right knee is over right ankle. We'll lower that left knee all the way down, top of the foot on the mat. Plant your left hand to the mat, or if you don't have enough space and you feel like the floor is way too far away, on a block, and reach that right arm up. Right arm up, let's take a twist. Reaching through those right fingers, gaze towards the sky. And bring that right hand back down. Do your best so you can stay just like this, or if you feel like you have it in you, you can reach the arms all the way up to a low lunge, Anjaneyasana. We don't want our right knee going past our right ankle. So your hips might be up here if they're a little bit tighter. You might let them drop forward a little bit. Reach up through the hands. Let's just take 2 more breaths. And then bring your hands to the floor to frame your right foot. You can keep them on the floor, or if you need more space, use the blocks. And start to straighten that right leg. Maybe crawl your hands and the blocks back towards you. This is half split. So let the toes point towards your face so your foot is flexed. You're drawing that right hip back and you're pressing down through that right heel. Breathing here. Good, let's bend that right leg. Hands to floor, step that left foot up to meet the right hip width apart for this one. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, fold. And then step that right foot all the way to the back of the mat. Lower the right knee down, point the toes. Left knee is over left ankle. If it's not there, put it in place. Plant the right hand to the mat or a block and reach that left arm up towards the sky. If it's okay on the neck, you'll gaze up towards those left fingers. Try not to let the left arm fly back. Try to keep it nice and stacked. Left hand comes down. Stay just like this with your fingertips to the floor or blocks, or you can reach the arms up for low lunge, Anjaneyasana. Keep pressing down through the top of that right foot. And then bring your hands to the mat or blocks, whichever you need. Start to straighten that left leg, crawling the hands back. You're on the left heel, left toes point towards your face. Pressing down through that left heel and drawing that left hip back. One side might be tighter than the other, one side might be more open. So just noticing. Let's bend that left leg. Hands frame the foot, step that right foot up to meet the left. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, fold. This time, sweep your arms all the way up. Inhale. Palms touch overhead. Exhale. Hands to heart center. Close your eyes. Take a few breaths here. Get regrounded. Recommit. And then bring your arms by your side. So we're going to do tree pose, which is a balance posture. If you really, really struggle with balance, just be near a wall just for peace of mind or in case you need to use it. But the trick with balancing postures is you find a point of gaze, or a drishti as we call it in yoga. You focus on that, something that is not moving. So if you look at me, it's going to be a little bit more challenging because I move. So we'll do this together. Let's root down through that right foot and come onto the left toes. You'll bring your left foot to your ankle, your calf, or your thigh. It is not pressing against the knee. That left knee is turned out to the left side. You're standing tall. Maybe bringing your palms together, heart center. Again, if you need to move next to a wall and just have one hand against the wall, do that. Press your foot into your leg and your leg into your foot. Stand up even taller. Make sure you're still breathing. If you're falling out, that's okay. Just get back in. Also know if you are practicing on a carpet, balance postures are a little bit more difficult, so give yourself some slack. And then let's release that down. And we'll switch. Root down through the left foot. Come onto those right toes. Right foot comes to ankle, calf or thigh, not the knee. Find that sweet spot. Palms come together. Press the foot to leg, leg to foot. Stand up nice and tall. Use that gaze. Find that drishti. I'm looking at a candle. It's not lit though, because then it'd be flickering and that would mess me up. Again, if you fall out, just come back in and be nice to yourself. Balance is one of those things, at least for me, where if I stop practicing it, I lose it. I have to continually be practicing my balance, and some days are better than others. That's the thing with yoga, is our practice isn't always consistent, but we show up consistently as yogis. One more breath here. Good, let's release it down and just shake it out. Good. Alrighty, we're gonna come all the way down to seated. I'm gonna face you just for the heck of it. We're gonna come into a bound angle pose or Baddha Konasana. So the soles of the feet are gonna be together, the knees are open wide. And I'll just let you do whatever variation you like. So if you like to have the feet close to the pelvis or further away, more into a diamond shape, that's fine. Wherever you are, let's just take a deep breath in. And as you exhale, begin to fold forward. You can keep your hands on your feet or walk your hands forward. Again, do not compare how it looks in my body. We all have different ranges of motion. You might not fold very far, and that's okay. Wherever you are, just let go. Let's take 3 more breaths. And come all the way up. Good. We'll come into our straight-legged forward fold today. So you're gonna straighten the legs, flex the feet. I like to remove the flesh from the sits bones, which is a fancy way of saying move your butt fat out of the way so you can get a little bit more grounded. So if you do have a strap here or a belt or whatever and you want to use it, that's fine. You don't have to. If you do, you'll wrap it around the backs of your feet. Inhale, sit up nice and tall. We're going to focus on a hamstring stretch today, which means we're going to keep length in the spine rather than rounding forward. So you're gonna take a deep breath in, and you're gonna exhale, start to bring your heart forward, keeping that length in the spine. Again, if you don't have a strap, that's fine. Try to keep the legs straight. Try to release the idea that you need to be able to touch your toes or get there or whatever. That's not the goal. The goal is to breathe and to create space in the body. When I started, I could not touch my toes, and now they're just, So your body adjusts and changes over time when you practice. Keep reaching that heart forward. And come all the way up. That one's a big one. I know. All right. Let's come down onto our backs. You're gonna have your legs bent and your feet planted. We're gonna take another back bend bridge pose. This isn't the bridge that we did when we were kids, so don't pop right up into that. You're gonna slide your heels towards your glutes. Maybe your fingertips touch them, maybe not. And then you're going to lift up your hips. So pressing down through the feet, try to not let the knees splay out. So options, you can say just like this, or you can interlace your hands underneath you with the pinky side of the hands pressing down to the floor. If you do that, try to rock the shoulder blades underneath and lift the hips even higher. We'll stay here for 3 to 5 breaths. Try to relax your glutes. Release your hands and slowly lower down. Good, let's windshield wiper the legs left and right, so let them drop from side to just neutralize the spine. And then from here, we're gonna take just a nice brief hip opener, reclining pigeon, or some people call it figure 4. You'll cross the right ankle over that left knee. And it's almost like you're pressing the right foot into that left thigh, pressing that right knee away from you. If you feel a good stretch here in your right hip, this is where you'll stay. If you want more, you'll bring that left knee in towards your chest. If you still want more, right hand threads through that space and hands interlace behind the left hamstring or left shin. Wherever you are, you're pressing leg to foot, foot to leg, breathing. Trying to relax that low back towards the floor, head, neck, and shoulders stay relaxing down. I like to take teeny tiny rocks here from side to side. Just switches up the sensations a little bit. You have that option, or you can stay still. Good, let's release that. And we'll switch, crossing that left ankle over the right knee, pressing leg to foot, foot to leg, left knee opens. Again, stay just like this, or bring that right knee in, or thread the left arm through, interlacing behind the hamstrings or on top of the right shin. One side might be different than the other, so you might have to take 2 very different variations. That's okay. Keep hugging this in. So this, I do refer to this as reclining pigeon, and in other practices that I'm going to be doing on my YouTube, we will be doing pigeon a lot, and that's kind of a more upright pose. But if you have knee issues and you're in a yoga class or you're doing a yoga practice and pigeon just doesn't feel right for you, come here to reclining pigeon. It gives you all of the same benefits. Again, if you wanted to rock a little side to side, feel free. And then let's release that. Give yourself a hug. Rock a little side to side. Take a spinal twist. So bring your arms out into a T, or if you don't have space, like I don't, you'll bring your arms into cactus, so 90-degree angles. Scoot your hips a little bit over to the left and let the knees drop to the right. Turn your head to the left, close the eyes. Relax that left shoulder into the floor. And bring your knees back through center. Scoot your butt over to the right. Let the legs drop to the left. Turn your head to the right. So the knees are going one way, the head is going the other. Relax the right shoulder into the floor. chest. Give yourself a hug one last time. Rock a little side to side. And we'll come into our final pose, Shavasana, or corpse pose. Legs are straight out. Feet are about as wide apart as the mat, just letting them fall open. Palms face the sky. Close your eyes. This is where we stay for the last minute or so of practice. I will give you a brief Shavasana today. You can stay in it as long as you want. Eyes are closed. Soften that space between the eyebrows. Relax the cheeks and the jaw. And just melt into the ground, letting go. Feel free to stay here, or if you're ready, you'll begin to deepen the breath. Start to wiggle the fingers and the toes, inviting small movements back into the body. Turn your head side to side. Reach your arms up overhead, point your toes, take a big good morning stretch. And then bend your knees and drop over to the right side, pausing in fetal pose for a moment. Like you're laying comfortably on your right side in bed, right ear resting on right arm. Keep the eyes closed. You'll use that left hand to press yourself up and come into a comfortable seated position, that same place we began our practice. Sitting tall, relaxing shoulders away from ears. And let's join our palms together at heart center. Gently bow your chin to your chest, sealing in our practice with gratitude. And this is where we say Namaste, which means the light in me sees and honors the light in you. Thank you so much for joining me, yogis. Great job. And if you liked this video, please subscribe to my channel. Have a great day.